Alright, and welcome Starcraft Nation. Today we got a 1v1. We have on the southern side Rekatan? The Red Zerd? We're going to go with Rekatan. And in the north we have metygl? I don't know. Really doesn't matter, as the blue Zerg in the north. So we have a Zerg versus Zerg on Desert Oasis. And of course, as we all know, there's this nice little gap that you can infuse the air power, because Lord knows it takes long enough to travel all the way down. Oh, and you got some rocks. And around. So it really depends on how you choose to go around. But we see the observers. They're going to be flying by each other and saying hi, maybe even a little high five. Or a high one. They've got claws. So I guess overseers give, or overlords give high ones. Anyway, so right now I got another overseer coming out here, and overlord. Wow, guess I'm rolling old school today. And yeah, so we've basically got some scouting going on. We've got a drone coming over here to take the tower and hang out with his little crustacean buddy. Is it a land lobster? We're gonna go with land lobster. But we still got this drone coming over here to see what exactly is going on. And of course, you can see how long it takes this guy to come all the way around. He's basically got to make a little Z come around. We got another drone to meet him at the gateway, well, the ramp right here. And metygl. We'll go metygl. All right, metygl is going to see exactly that Rekatan is not going to rush, and he's going to ponder that, as you can see right there. It's like, what are you up to tonight? And we actually have a spawning pool going down afterwards, and an early expansion. Now, let's see if metygl actually gets to see this. Yes, he does actually spot that, so metygl will know that the red Zerg is actually going for an early expand. So we have a extractor already down and a spawning pool up. And we have another overlord coming down, so we see that the unit composition right now is pretty similar, and I don't know if we're going to see an early lean speed right now, metabolic boost, so that he can run little cracklings all the way down here and try to do some economic damage, or basically try to rush and win the game early on here. But Rekatan does have his spawning pool down, and his natural is going to be almost complete here. And he's already actually moving his drones out to populate this mineral line, which I don't know if it's really worth it, seeing the fact that this mineral line is obviously not even close to being saturated. In fact, it's almost a ghost town. So that movement actually cost him some money, as we can actually see here in the income tab. The harvester difference is only, well, there's only one harvester difference right now, but there was a blatant difference in actual income here. Now, Rekatan does bring out a queen, and hopefully we will see a highway of creep to conjoin these two bases together, because having that ability to move your units across in the quickest fashion is going to help him defend. Now, we do have two extractors coming down here, and we have a baneling nest. So, with Z versus Z, we do see a baneling micro pretty early on to try to win the early game. And it's pretty blatant that that's what metygl is actually going for, is an early game win, because he is one basing it. And as you see, the two overlords are actually dancing around here, and Rekatan is going to see that there isn't actually a natural right here. So hopefully we might see some defenses to pop up from Rekatan. Not really sure. We do actually have a spine crawler going down on his natural, and a few Zerglings loitering around in this little choke point right here to try to absorb any potential baneling damage you might see. And Rekatan has done a good job of actually possessing all of these towers right here. And of course, metygl is making a couple comments. Yes, exactly. It does take a long time to run around on this map. That's why we do see such a popular air presence in this map. But of course, no one is actually taking advantage of that so far. Rekatan right now is actually still has not gained any sort of layer upgrade, so he is definitely going for the macro right now. Versus metygl, he does have the layer, but he doesn't have anything past Brutans. And we actually see an early Nidoswarm filling up with Banelings, so these Banelings are going to be basically unhampered coming into the base. Now, it is only 2 Banelings, so it's really not that big a deal, but you can actually run these into the mineral line. It can make a lot of difference, but really it does not matter at this point because there are so many Zerglings in this base right now with nothing to protect it. Of course, that queen has gone down, and you saw one drone unfortunately eating a face full of acid. These drones are going to be evacuating to the natural expansion. We do see some speedlings and drone actually trying to defend their natural because the main is lost and pretty much gone. Now, these Zerglings will not be able to overpower these drones and Zerglings. And yes, of course, making the notation that he does not have speed, Rekatan is going to be able to position himself on the battlefield and take advantage of a surround using drones and queens. The queen, of course, being able to reach over her her minions, and be able to basically claw these guys. So then we do see a single Baneling coming down here. And of course, Rekatan did do a good job of running away. And we see another Baneling coming down. That's exactly the kind of play you want to see with Zerg versus Zerg. Sacrificing a single Zergling to take the Baneling. Because if you just press A and move with the Baneling will automatically detonate on a single Zergling. Which, I mean, that's the best way to go. And this hatchery is still up, and this queen is going to die needlessly. And, of course, this hatchery is most likely going to go down to those Zerglings. So Rekatan right now looks like he's going to be on equal footing income-wise with metygl, and actually Rekatan is way up right now, but with this hatchery going down, you're going to see the average go down, and that Baneling just died. I don't know what that Baneling just took, but you do have the Broodlings coming out here and chasing these non-speedlings out to their death. So right now this Nidoswarm needs to die. Rekatan needs to break this chain of movement, and we do actually see Rekatan bring in these Zerglings here to kill this Nidoswarm, because this Nidoswarm has basically enabled metygl to move in and take advantage, basically break this long highway that these Zerglings would have to breach. Oh, man, so fast. You should have killed your pool. Yeah, well, if he had focus fire at the pool, he would not have been able to bring any sort of military response, but we do actually see Rekatan bringing back up the hatchery because the main base still has tons of mineral and totally worth it. And besides, if he does not actually bring the creep back to the spawning pool will die eventually, bleeding out on these sands here in the ocean. We actually have some loitering drones. I don't know if they are just lazy or what, but Rekatan has not ordered them to do anything. And metygl is still on a single base, so it's interesting to see whether metygl is going to try to shift into a macro mode or if he's going to try to deliver a below. Oh, and we actually do see a spire going down, so it looks like metygl is going to continue his one base move and try to bring some Mutalisks into play and try to down Rekatan without expanding. And we have some loading larva, and he has a lot of minerals right now, so it'd be interesting to see if he tried to populate his mineral line right now, because his mineral line could use a couple more drones on here to get a full saturation. And of course, he has been saving up his Vespene gas. He stopped using the Banelings a while ago, so he has been mining those 2 extractors pretty hardcore for a while. And of course, with the completion of the Spire, we do see a bunch of Mutalisks coming down. So it's going to be interesting to see whether Rekatan is going to basically forecast this attack, and it does look like he does, because he has a evolution chamber down completely, and we do see spore crawlers going down in his reclaim main, but of course his natural is still quite vulnerable. We don't see any spore crawlers going down, but we do see spine crawlers. So he's going to try to defend himself from that. I don't know if I would keep these spine crawlers so far out, because this choke point will not be able to be choked. So it might be to behoove him to move them back a little bit to protect the hive and stuff. And we do see some spore crawlers going down, and metygl is doing an explanation point. I don't know if he was actually able to see that. Let's see what. No, Rekatan does not have sight of that spire yet, so it's gonna be interesting to see. Oh, and we do have Mutalisks on the field, and of course they are going to kill this Overlord. He is a granny in the